When we use anticipation guides, it is meant to be used before you do a lesson or before you do reading. And you can see here that anticipation guides, they set purposes. They teach children to make predictions, to anticipate the text, and to verify their predictions. And they connect new information to prior knowledge. But the biggest thing for me, and the reason why anticipation guides might be such a great tool to use for engagement, is that they build curiosity about a new topic. So there's a whole bunch of different ways you can do anticipation guides. I just want to show you some models of it. First of all, there's a couple of templates. If you want these templates, I can send them to you. Just email me at lfisher@gfsd.org. But one of the things that you could do is, you can see here that there is a little bit of prep on the teacher's part. I don't think there's a lot of prep. And to be very honest with you, lots and lots of teachers do these anticipation guides orally. They don't have kids write them down. They just say the statements and the kids say whether they agree or disagree. But you could give a printed guide where you're printing out statements, and you'll see in this column the kids say that I agree or disagree, and then they put the page, they go and read, and they put the page number where they found, were they right or were they not right, and then there's a section to reflect. And of course, this kind of anticipation guide I would use for middle school and high school. It's a lot more involved. Here's one that is less involved. Before I read, I agree with this statement, I disagree with this statement, here's the statement. And then after I read, they come back to say whether or not they agree or disagree. This is a little more simple for maybe, second grade, third grade, and fourth grade. Here are some examples of how they're used. This is a science anticipation guide. You can see that the statements are in the center. And this, Mr. Manka has done it so that the kids read the statement, and then they say whether or not they agree or disagree by putting an A or a D in the me column. And then as they're reading, they say whether or not the author agrees or disagrees, and then they add the page number. Very, very simple to use, but keeps the kids really, really busy and engaged in the topic, because they have to see whether or not they were right when they were making their predictions. Here's another example, just me and the text. Very simple. The statement, me and the text. Something really, really simple. But when we're using it with pre-K and kindergarten and first grade, quite often we can do some oral things. We can say, like, let's take a picture walk in this book, whether the book is a social studies book or a science picture book or a book that's a read aloud. A picture walk is a way to do those predictions. What do you think is going to happen in this book? What do you think we might see? And even more importantly, when we're making sure that we're adding some word work in there, you can say, what words do you think we're going to come across? Now that you've looked at these pictures, let's make a prediction about the kinds of words we might see. Will we see, the word mailman in this? We'll have to be on the lookout for it. So anticipation guides can be as simple as oral predictions in social studies, in science, in a read aloud, or it can be as, detailed as using one of these anticipation guides where the kids have the sheet in front of them. They have statements that have come, that the teachers have created, that they have to decide, do I agree with this statement? Do I not agree with this statement? And then it keeps them engaged in the work to see, was I right or was I wrong? Again, a simple, simple way to keep kids engaged in the learning, and to then have learning be deep and meaningful because they've made these predictions before reading or experiencing